Before we get into our Chiefs mailbag, I want you guys to do me a favor and follow me on Instagram. I want to do an Instagram-only mailbag later in the week, so go follow me over there at HGramNFL, and then go ask me some more questions on my IG, #Chiefs, on my Instagram. Slide in the DMs, and I will try to answer those on a future mailbag. But give me a follow on Instagram at HGramNFL, trying to get to 1,000 followers by the end of the year. And with that being said, we're going to answer all of your questions on our Chiefs mailbag. So use #Chiefs or Super Chat. It is mailbag time. I am your host, Harrison Graham, here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report, and we are set to answer all of your questions on this mailbag. So go ahead and load them up right now. Let's start with Azel here. #Chiefs. Will the Chiefs sign a big-time wide receiver or draft one in the first round? I feel like drafting one's a little more likely, but I think you could sign there's a couple of different options. What about a guy like Michael Gallup? I think he's a perfect number 2 receiver. You've got Tyreek Hill, who's a speedster, Travis Kelce. Gallup's a good route runner. He's good in one-on-ones. He can high point the football a little bit as well. Cowboys number 3 receiver right now, but that's only because they have CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper. He is comfortably a good number 2 wide receiver. He would be a huge upgrade over anything else the Chiefs have behind Tyreek Hill at receiver. So a guy like that, Chris Godwin, depending on his price. Could Allen Robinson become affordable? Maybe. I don't think you're going to be in the Devontae Adams sweepstakes, but you could go after one of those guys, or draft a Chris Olave, maybe a Garrett Wilson if he slides a little bit as well. Drake London, Treylon Burks. There's a lot of receivers in this draft, but it'll depend on where the Chiefs are selecting. PS4, the new frontier. Who would you want to see in the wild card round, assuming we don't get the first round bye? So the Chiefs are now at 8-4 in the AFC. So let's say they get the 2 seed, for example, and they don't get the 1 seed. I don't think it's updated, Jeremy. Yeah, don't go to it. Who would I want to see? I don't want to see Buffalo. I'll tell you that. I don't want to see New England, and one of those teams will be in the wild card. I would say maybe, like Cincinnati. They're an inexperienced team. I'd be comfortable facing them in the playoffs. Pittsburgh, if they were to sneak in. I don't want to play the Colts. I think they could be dangerous. The Titans, if they don't win that division. But, yeah, I would say like Cincinnati out of the teams that are possible is probably the team I'd be most comfortable playing. Caleb Harrell, #Chiefs. Have the Chiefs' run defense gotten better in your opinion? Javonte Williams ran well against them on Sunday Night Football. But overall it has. I want to see more Nick Bolton, to be honest. I think he's the best Chiefs run defender as a linebacker. I know Ben Neiman made a nice play on the deflection pick 6 for Dan Sorensen, but I'd like to see Bolton out there more. They still need to get better in that area, but also Javonte Williams is a really good back. He forces a lot of missed tackles. The Broncos O-line is pretty solid. But, yeah, I think there's still room for growth, but the Chiefs' defense as a whole has gotten a lot better, and the run defense has improved. FN2187, is Andy sandbagging until the playoffs? I don't think so, because you can't be messing around. Every game is critical at this point with several teams with 4 losses in the AFC. You got the Patriots, Bills, Chiefs, Ravens, and Titans, all with 4 losses. So a lot to play for, a lot at stake. The number 1 seed very much up for grabs, and we know how critical getting that number 1 seed is because that's the only team that gets a bye, and that means that team has home field throughout the playoffs. So I wouldn't say that he's sandbagging. Is he a little conservative? Yeah. I think part of that's he trusts the defense, the way this defense is playing right now. Here's a good question, and we'll make this the pinned comment on today's video. Can the Chiefs get the number 1 seed in the AFC? What do you guys think? Will the Chiefs get the number 1 seed in the AFC? Get us your thoughts. You can just give us a wire in as well on this one. Can the Chiefs get that number 1 seed in the AFC? If you get hit with the YouTube ad break, scroll on down and answer this pinned comment. Brian Gales, is the offense broken, or we're trying to be too cute? I think there's just a lot, man. Like, I think Mahomes is off sometimes. The receivers have dropped a ton of passes this year. And not only are they dropping them, they're leading to interceptions too often. Like, Tyreek Hill, on at least 3 occasions this year, has had the ball go off his hands into a defender's hands. Can't happen. They're drive killers. Turnovers absolutely kill momentum. We all know that. It happened in the Dallas game. It happened in the game against the Broncos. It happened in that Washington game earlier in the year as well, even though the Chiefs pulled away in the second half. I think sometimes this team can be a little cute. They like to be a flashy offense, especially Hill, Mahomes, and Kelsey. But I don't know. I think just it's classic. What's the phrase? 1 step forward, 2 steps back. That's how the offense feels. I thought they had kind of figured it out against the Raiders. The last few games against Dallas and Denver, not so much. Now those are better defenses, but with the way this defense is playing, if the offense can just figure it out, even if it's not peak like 2018, 2019 offense, 2020, this team's going to be hard to beat because this defense right now is playing as good as it has under Steve Spagnuolo. AO Trav says, #Chiefs, who would be the best pickup next year's in the draft next year? I won't focus on players. I'll focus more on positions. I think wide receiver and defensive end are 2 areas because I don't know what DN looks like next year. Could Frank Clark get cut? Could Melvin Ingram be on a different team? If that is the case, if one or both of those guys are gone, you need a defensive end. So I think those 2 areas are positions of need. Maybe a right tackle. Yeah, you're not going to get Kayvon Thibodeau, like my producer just said. But there are some good pass rushers in this class, so we'll see what happens. Tony Fuentes, I'm going to get the gear, long sleeve, and sweater. I love it. Hey, so what he's referring to is this Chiefs 2-shirt combo for 50% off. Right now, you can get it, chatsports.com/ChiefsCombo. That's chatsports.com/ChiefsCombo. That link will be in the comments. It'll be in the description. This combo is usually $50, which is a pretty good deal. 2 shirts for $50. But right now, it's 2 shirts for $25. You get a short sleeve and a long sleeve. Chatsports.com/ChiefsCombo. Link is in the comments and in the description. Click and shop today for a perfect holiday gift. Time for a few more here. We got a super chat from Terrell. Shake my head. You can't come out this sloppy coming out of the bye. Yeah, so look, Andy Reid improved to 20-3 coming off a bye week, but it was sloppy. The offense is inconsistent. There's not a lot of big plays. Darrell Williams had a big play in the receiving game, but you're not getting as many of those this year. A lot of that is how teams are playing defensively. They're trying to make the Chiefs dink and dunk, and a lot of the times the Chiefs will drive it down, then they'll stall out. Penalties have come at bad times. So penalties are killers, drops are killers, missed throws are killers. All this stuff adds up, and you got to clean it up. You just got to clean it up. Justin Locklear, is Josh Gordon ever going to get a ball thrown to him? Look, I think at this point with Josh Gordon, you just have to assume he's not a big part of this team. If he ever gets involved, great, but I have no expectations at this point. I'm happy for him that he's back in the NFL. I'm happy that, for all accounts, his act has been together and he seems to be on the right track mentally and with himself. That's most important. But in terms of his on-field contributions, I don't really have any major expectations at this point. Shire Najir, who is the best QB of all time? All time. It's got to be Tom Brady, right? 7 Super Bowls. He's got a bunch of records statistically. He's so clutch. He's definitely not the most talented of all time. You could argue Mahomes is the most talented of all time. Now, he's got a long career ahead of him, so it's way too early to say he's the best of all time. But I'd go probably Brady 1. Oh, gosh. And then there's like a list of 5 to 7 guys that could be in the argument for number 2. Cole Keller, #Chiefs, with the inconsistencies of the offense, how do you feel how far do you think the defensive play can take us? I think the defense can take this group pretty far if they're playing the way they are, but the offense will have to play better. They will play a team eventually that can score, 24, 27 points. In today's NFL, you can't hold teams to 20 or less every week. It's just too hard. So you're going to have to clean that up. You're going to have to offensively you're going to be forced to score 30 on somebody at some point. Now, we know this offense can do that, but will they catch the wrong team at the wrong time and be eliminated? I hope not, but hopefully the offense picks it up. I think the defense could probably take this team deep into the playoffs. Would I pick this team to win the Super Bowl if the offense is just this level that we saw against the Broncos? Probably not. But this defense is championship-level defense right now. It really is. Getting a lot of takeaways, key red zone stops. It's been great. It's been really, really good. How confident are you in the Chiefs making a Super Bowl run? Scale from 1 to 100, 1 being not at all, 100 being very confident. Let us know. I'm probably at like a 70 right now. I love where the defense is at. I'd like to see the offense pick it up, but look, it's hard to make the Super Bowl any year. So I'd say like a 70. Fairly confident, but I still would like to see some more consistent play. That is for sure. Mystic Chief says, top free agents for the Chiefs. So like free agent targets or like guys on the Chiefs roster. If we talk about guys on the Chiefs roster, off the top of my head without looking at the list, decisions they'll have to make. Melvin Ingram's a guy who you traded for who's on a 1-year deal. Do you bring him back? A guy like Darrell Williams, do you bring him back? A lot of their key players are under contract. Charvarius Ward, I think, is a guy you'll have to make a decision on. He's improved dramatically. Dan Sorensen, do you bring him back for another year? I don't know. And for free agent targets, I think receiver, defensive end, those are areas to target. Maybe a defensive tackle. Jaron Reed is a free agent after this year, so that's worth mentioning as well. So those are some names and some positions, I would say. Open Mike Fala, Thailand. How much do we pay Clark, and should we get out of that contract? He makes over $20 million a year. He's overpaid. There's no doubt. Now he's played a little bit better, but I think if the Chiefs have an opportunity to get out of that contract after this year, that will be something they explore. There will be some dead cap money for sure, whether it's a trade or a cut. But I think that's something that Brett Veach and this front office will consider. Now, we'll answer a few more questions coming up shortly, but first, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Chiefs news, rumors, live streams, and a whole lot more. We usually go live on Mondays, but we didn't go live on this Monday, so keep that in mind. But that is usually the case, 4 o'clock Eastern on Mondays. And also, we go live for most games for watch parties. But injury reports, news, game previews, tons of videos for you guys. Hit that big red button and subscribe today. Time for a couple more. Chiefs Kingdom, Andy Reid be fired. Should he be? No. I don't like some of the decisions he's made recently on 4th down. Like, you get that special teams turnover, you're inside the 20, you get to 4th and 2, and instead of trying to get a touchdown to go up 20-3, you kick a field goal to make it 16-3. I'm looking for a knockout punch there. I'm trying to end that game right then and there. He disagreed with me. He's the head coach. I don't agree with that decision, but I don't think that means he should be fired. I mean, this team's 8-4. Like, they're very much in the hunt for the number 1 seed in the AFC. DJ Bucks, why did they pay Pat so soon? He's obviously a flash in the pan. He shook. Guys, come on, be real. He's not a flash in the pan. He's still like top 5 in a lot of major categories this year. It's just the standard he has set is so high. And by the way, his contract is actually pretty QB friendly. Like, he could have taken a 4 or 5 year deal, hit free agency again, and then gotten an even bigger contract. So, don't worry about Mahomes. Does he need to play better? Yes, but he's not shook. He's perfectly fine. He needs to play better, but I don't think he's a flash in the pan at all. Justin Jenkins, these drops, damn, we've been dropping the ball. I think we would have gotten more TDs. Yeah, look, a lot of these drops too are in plus territory, like inside opposing 30-yard line territory. That kills you. Especially when they lead to interceptions. Like, oh, boom, it pops up and the defender picks it off. That's not good. I mean, turnovers kill you, especially in the playoffs. And it's been a problem for the Chiefs at times this year. There's no doubt about it. John Sutterfield, do you think we will keep Mecole Hardman? Next year's the final year of his rookie contract. If I had to guess right now, they probably would not keep him long term. But a lot can change between now and the end of next season. Last question from FN2187 is Whataburger overrated? This is a good one to end on. No. It's heat. It's gas. Patrick Mahomes loves Whataburger, and you should too. Not a sponsor, but hey, if y'all want to sponsor Whataburger, if you're watching, slide in the DMs at HGramNFL on Twitter and on Instagram. All right, guys, appreciate you guys for submitting all of your questions. Subscribe to the channel. More videos coming up throughout the week. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. And if you want to follow me on social media, on Twitter, it's at HGramNFL. On Instagram, it's at HGramNFL. Follow me, slide in the DMs. I'm always down to talk some Chiefs football and NFL, other sports as well. So give me a follow on social media.